Yeah, top of the morning, top of the afternoon, whatever time you may be watching, Waited to Win this afternoon or this morning. We really look forward to being with you. It's a trip to the Vaal, the countryside, and what a card it's going to be. There looks to be some decent sized fields, and I think there's money to be had. Just chatting to Daryl and to Darren, they're quite confident on a few horses this afternoon, so keep following, keep listening. Just another reminder about that social media strap which is up on your screen. And we'll try and find you as many winners as we possibly can on this Thursday, leading up into a big weekend of racing. All right, so we're going to start off in race 2. The bar pot starts now, being a 9-race program, and Hawk Bill is your 18-10 favourite. I'm sure that will shorten up race time. I'm going to go to Darren Burrows. Darren, what do you like? I know off air you were telling me Hawk Bill, a nice bet. I see shortened up already from 5-2.
Yes, this is my early strike for the day, and I will be taking a small double Hawk Bill into Sword of Mercy a bit later. I think it's a good thing. Now, Hawk Bill last time out, he was drawn 1 out of 11, and the inside going was a bit dead, and he made his run down the outside. Craig Zaki pulled him right across the track, and he absolutely took off. Another stride he would have won going away behind Jerusalem Rain. And now I believe in this type of company, he should get his maiden out the way. He could be well above average. If you're looking for dangers, a horse like Captain Wara, I thought very unlucky to get nabbed on the line last time out. But I think he's got a bit to find on Hawk Bill. I'm going to say Hawk Bill's worth a small bet.
All right, yeah, and those form lines are quite strong. I mean, Jerusalem Rain went to run second behind that very nice horse from the Sean Terry yard, Lucky Lad in the SA Nursery. Daryl, can you give us confidence with Hawk Bill? He's obviously a horse that's looking for a lot further, but he was really hitting the line full of running last time out.
I am going to give you confidence, Brandon. He's one of the better bets on the card. I'm not a fan of the Chili Moon form line. So for me, Hawk Bill, worth a strike.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet, that's what we like. We like the confidence, and I have no doubt that this horse is going to start closer to even money race time. Let's have a look. They're going to bank a 6 in the bar pot over here in the first leg, that being Hawk Bill. This is Darren Burrows' bar pot by 9 and 10, by 1, 5 and 14, by banker 1, by 4, 10 and 12, by 1, 2, 3, 7 and 12, and that's going to cost you 90 Rand. We'll update that slide. Let's see what Daryl Marie's doing in the first leg of the bar pot. He's also going to banker number 6, Hawk Bill, by banker 10, by 5 and 6, by banker 1, by 5, 6, 8 and 10, by 2, 3, 6 and 12, and it's going to cost you 32 Rand. Let's see if Hawk Bill is right. There's no doubt that he's looking for a bit further, but I like what I happened to see last time out behind Jerusalem Rain, and I have no doubt that he's going to progress from here to be a half-decent horse. He looks to be quite above average. And yeah, the guys are confident. I like it. So we're going to dive in 18-10. Bar pot starts 12:30. Races over 1,200 meters. So let's move along to the first leg of today's place accumulator. It starts now in race number 3, and I see Total Surrender is your 2-1 favourite. There's been an important scratching. Viva de Janeiro comes out over here, who I think was trading at about 14-10 anti-post betting, but that's gone. And Total Surrender's ended up as your favourite. So Darren, I'm a bit concerned about the form lines behind Severard. I know it was a cracking effort from this horse Total Surrender, but those form lines, do they worry you as well?
Yes, it's got to worry you in a way. You know, it wasn't a strong maiden, but what was eye-catching, he was really quickening up smartly the final 200 meters. So he can only come on from that run. And I still make him one of the leading lights. But this horse, Turbo Power, I thought that was a cracking debut at Turffontein. The money was down, ran a good second. I think that form line is going to hold up stronger than Total Surrender. So for that reason, I'm going to go 10 to beat 9.
Yeah, there's probably 1 or 2 form lines that we are a bit worried about over here, and that's why we can't give you the confidence that you need. Let's see if Daryl can give us any confidence with anything he likes over here. Daryl, I must ask you about this horse, American Grayson. I was sitting with Tyron Zaki when this horse made its debut, and he said, listen to me, when this horse goes over a bit further in time, he's a horse that we can follow because he thinks quite a bit of him. Is there any space for this horse for you in your selections?
I certainly believe you could run second or third, Brandon. I'm also leaning towards number 10, Turbo Power. strictly because this race is over 1400. I think at this stage of the careers, between numbers 9 and 10, the 1400 is more favorable for Turbo Power. I'm not saying Total Surrender can't win. He is related to second base, and he was finishing strongly on debut. So I've got respect for him. Turbo Power, the fact that he was supported on debut, doing his best work late, beaten by a first-timer whose ability is unknown. He could be anything. I'm leaning towards the 10, as Darren is.
All right, I'll perhaps also include number 5, American Grayson. Always good to catch up with Tyron Zaki, and he does think quite a bit of the source, especially when he goes over a bit further than 1400 meters. I'm sure he'll be staying on late in the day. Daryl Marie's tipped us a PA. He's gone bank at 10, so he likes Turbo Power as he's banker in the first leg of the PA by 5 and 6, by banker 1, by 5, 6, 8 and 10, by 2, 3, 6 and 12, by 1, 3, 4, 10 and 12, by 1, 6 and 10, and that's going to cost you 480 Rand. It's over 1400, and the race goes off at 1:05. So the pick 6 starts now in race number 4, and Count Your Chances is your 5-2 favorite as it stands. A horse that's been very consistent and needs that consistency reward. Gavin Lerena sticks with this one for Fani Broncos, who also had a good winner with Pendragon. The same combination teamed up with Pendragon on Tuesday afternoon at Turf and Teen. Let's go and see what Darren likes over here. Count Your Chances, massive runner must be included. Darren?
Has to be included, Brandon. This isn't a strong race at all. And on her recent form, she's got to be a massive runner here. Now, Green Bubbles returning after a bit of a break. She was in form before the rest. But have a look at the first time. I see Diego de Gavay has taken the ride for Stuart Pettigrew. Sweet Basil, a Flower Alley out of a Black Minnalush mare. If there's any sort of market support for the 14, it's got to be a serious runner. So include all of 1, 5 and 14 into your play.
Daryl Marie, a man that's very much in the know of things and obviously catches up with a lot of people around the country. Daryl, you heard anything about this first timer? I see there's been a bit of late spec, now 28-10. Diego rides for Stewie Pettigrew. I'm not sure if you've heard anything.
Not a word, Brandon, and unfortunately there's no comments in the front of the computer form either. What I can tell you is she's related to Spice Markets, was a miler, and Commander, previously trained by Mark de Kock, and then I think she went to Bar and Boiters. She was a 10 furlong filly. So if not needing further and the experience, I could see her making a winning debut. Just follow the market. The obvious one is Count Your Chances. Now you can see she's well exposed, but her 2 best runs have been with the blinkers. So she's ready to exit the maiden ranks now. Number 6, Oriental Odyssey. Have a look at the Mio Fiore run. She wasn't too far back. In saying that, Count Your Chances has improved with the blinkers, but she was returning from a 9-month rest and will strip fitter. I think if there is a danger to Count Your Chances, it could be number 6.
All right, so we'll have a look at this quickly, the pick 6. Let's see what we're doing in terms of the numbers. Darren Burrows is going 1, 2, 5, 6 and 14 in the first leg of the pick 6. By banker 1, by 2, 4, 8, 9, 10 and 12. By 1, 2, 3, 7, 12. By 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15. By 1, 2, 4, 10 and 11. 600 Rand gives you 10%. Perhaps Green Bubbles, also a horse that we need to watch in the first leg of the pick 6. It goes off at 13.40 and it's to be run over 1400 meters. Go to the first jackpot. It starts now in race number 5. We're going to remind you again about that social media strap, which is up on your screen as I speak. All the details, all the information you need. Please jot it down, and like I keep saying, pop us a message. We'd love to engage with you. Let's go and see what the market's doing. I really like a horse over here, and I've got a feeling we're going to get all the confidence in the world from Daryl Marie and Darren Burrows. Sword of Mercy, number 1, 14-10. 3, Williamson at 4-1. And it's 7-1 and better bar those. I'm going to start with Darren. Darren, I know earlier on you were talking about this Sword of Mercy. Perhaps you've taken the double Hawkbill into Sword of Mercy. Give us the confidence and tell us why you like it.
Brandon, first of all, I can't believe the price. I thought he was a 6 to 10 shots in this field, and he's currently 14 to 10. So I'm sure he's going to shorten a lot race time. That was a solid effort when stepped up to 2,000 meters last time out. I actually labeled Quantify that day, and at the 200, 100-meter mark, it looked like Sword of Mercy was going to hold him off, and he just caught him on the line. A repeat of that performance will see him in the winner's box, and I do believe he's got the come-on look about him.
Very hard to beat. I'm in full agreement. Let's see if Daryl Marie likes this one as well. Daryl, are you quite confident this horse will get it right today?
Extremely confident, Brandon. I actually fancied him in his last start because he caught my eye in his penultimate start behind Haslo Grande. Just strictly on his last start, he beat Wonderworld by 5.5 lengths. Wonderworld holds several runners, namely his number 3, 4, and 5 over here, who are the leading lights. So I'll be shocked if this horse loses.
So what more do you need? 14 to 10 is the current price. I have no doubt that once you get to watch this particular insert, it's probably shortened up way below even money, and many people will be taking the stance and bankering Sword of Mercy in the various exotics. Darren Burrows tipped us a jackpot, won his bank at number 1 Sword of Mercy by 2, 4, 8, 9, 10 and 12, by 1, 2, 3, 7, 12, by 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 12, 13 and 15. 240 Rand. Take that a few times. Race goes off at 2:15 and it's over 2,000 meters, and we'll be looking out for the silks of Darlin Chin Sammy on number 1 Sword of Mercy. So we're on to race number 6, and Captain Dizzy's your 5-1 favourite in a wide open contest, and a horse that's obviously been doing everything right is Captain Dizzy. I think was given the 5 points for that last win. Let's go and see what Darren Burrows likes over here. Darren, Captain Dizzy, a horse in good form, did come to the Highveld with a reputation. Things do need to go right for this individual, but a horse that you need to respect. There's a few others. I mean, Surya Varman, a horse that can go off and lead them. Storm Dictator, probably a horse that can also be right there. What do you like?
I like Captain Dizzy. I was very impressed with his last victory, and he's a horse that does go the 1,200 meters. I saw back in 2021 in Cape Town, he ran over 12.50 at Durbanville and got beat half a length by Bereave, who's one of the better sprinters in the country. He's had the 2 runs on the Highveld. Everything's in his favour. I think he'll run a cracker. He will be competitive off his current mark anyway, because he raced off a much higher rating in Cape Town. Surya Varman, he was tanking last time out. He didn't settle at all, and that's the reason he found nothing in the closing stages. So if he settles in running, he's got a chance. Storm Dictator's not out of it on his recent form. And there are others to consider. Twice a Storm, first runners at Golding after a bit of a break. But Captain Dizzy, I think he'll be right there.
Yeah, he's done nothing wrong, Captain Dizzy. He's slowly starting to creep up now in the weights, the handicapping. Like I said, he got 5 points for that last victory. Daryl, I just want to ask you, Twice the Storm as well as Storm Dictator, they're 2 horses that also need to be respected in a wide open race?
Yes, Brandon, there's a comment for Twice the Storm, number 2 in the front of the book, may need the run. In my opinion, the value in the race has to be number 6, Invincible Warrior. Now, he could well be looking for further, and he's got his issues. He's a lightly raced 5-year-old, but, he's unbeaten over the course and distance. Have a look at his rating down to a 78. He comes back in trip, and a set of blinkers go on. If he's feeling well and he's in a good space, I'm going to say he's the each-way play in the race. Number 10, Surya Varman, put a line through his last start. Very, very fierce around the bend. It wasn't his run. He gets a clean break, up the straight, he could be on his bicycle. And with fitness on his side, he may well prove very hard to peg back.
Yeah, we'll have a look at these selections. Another horse that I'd probably include is Let's Do It. He ran a cracker last time out. I know that Cosmic Star was probably a bit disappointing next time out, and that being on Tuesday afternoon at 2:15. But Let's Do It in this sort of class I think a horse that we need to respect at a decent price. Daryl Marie, he's tipped us a jackpot too. He's going 5, 6, 8 and 10 in the first leg by 2, 3, 6 and 12, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 and 12, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 10. 576 Rand the spend. And if you are going to play the jackpot too, you need to be on at 14.50. All right, so we move on to race number 7, and I see Lucky Udalakis has got first favourites and second favourites over here, Mia Fiore as well as Blue Waters. Let me just refresh my screen quickly to see what they're trading at. As it stands, Mia Fiore 33 to 10 and Blue Waters at 4 to 1, at 6 to 1 about Power Ranger, and you're getting 13 to 2 and Better Bar those. I'm going to start with Darren again. Darren, very open race. Mia Fiore, always a horse that they thought quite a bit of. I know it took some time to win, but maybe that confidence booster is there now. And Blue Waters, a horse that's been running on late in the day. I see Samanga Kamalo's been booked to ride, so surely Lucky Udalakis has got the upper hand over here.
Oh, he's got some big runners here. You know, Mia Fiore won a maiden last time out. There's been 2 direct winners from there. I still believe she's got to step up her game a bit. I thought between 1, 2, 3, 7 and 12, you could box that quartet for 120 Rand. Now, Ignatius, this horse came to the course with a big reputation. And it must be said, he has been disappointing in his last 2 starts. But Keegan de Mello, after a short break, this horse could come back with a bang. I wouldn't ignore Ignatius off his current rating. Blue Waters not striding out last time out. On her penultimate effort, she was absolutely taking off late. She's got to go into your play. Power Ranger, I'm glad I gave up on this horse a while ago because he still can't notch up his second victory 2 years later. And then Captain of Grit returning after a break. So all of 1, 2, 3, 7 and 12, but Ignatius, my first choice.
Yeah, shame. Power Ranger's been one of those horses where every time he runs, we think today is the day, and he just disappoints. I mean, he's been consistent. ATM machine, he earns, pays his way, and one of these days he'll get it right. I see only 52 kilograms on the back this afternoon with Jeff Saister. What do you like over here, Daryl? Lucky Udalakis, like I said, he's probably got the upper hand. 2 nice competitive horses in an open race.
A very tricky race, Brandon. I'm not writing off Power Rangers' chances on Thursday at the Vaal. I know he's under sufferance. He's 1.5 kilos under sufferance. But I think Jeff Saister will actually suit him. He's a quiet rider. He likes to be patient on horses. And now that he's been stepped up to the 1,500, let's see how he goes. I'm not going to be sitting here and tipping him with confidence, but I'm giving him another chance, especially on Thursday. A horse that's certainly going to prove on his later starts is number 6, San Marzano. Now, I'll be the first to admit that he won a very weak word rider event. But from what I saw in that victory is that he could be capable of better. Last time out, it was around the bend on a sticky track. I just think he's way better than that effort. I'm going to excuse him for that run. I'm willing to put a line through that. I'm keen to see how he goes up the Vaal straight again, and I'm keen to see how he goes over the 1,500. Blue Waters is another of my leading lights. This race is very difficult in my opinion.
Very difficult race, no doubt. I see we're going to go with a pick 3. Daryl Marie likes the pick 3s, and he's going to tip one here, starting in race number 7, 2, 3, 6 and 12. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 12. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 10. 144 Rand the spend, and the race goes off at 15.25. All right, so we'll have a look at the next race. This is race number 8, and the 10-horse Mabaneng is your 4 to 1 weak favourite. 2 Spring will come 5 to 1, 3 Iron Tail, the big Iron Tail at 6 to 1, and it's 8 to 1 and Better Bar those. All right, so again, a very trappy race. I'm going to start with Darren. Darren, this was Mabaneng. I thought a good run last time out. I know Silver Clock was a little bit disappointing on Tuesday in the lucky last at Turf and Teen. But in saying that, was taken up close to the line. Probably should have gone a bit closer in that particular race. Do you like Mabaneng?
I give her a chance, but I think I give like 6 or 7 horses an equal chance here. You know, Mabaneng 3 runs back beat Fascinado and Nose, and Fascinado now meets her 1 kilo or 2 better off at the weights. Interesting runner could be a horse like Gregor McGregor, who ran in a plated race 4 lengths behind Shoemaker. I know it was a small field, so they're quite compact, so you can't read too much into it. But on that sort of performance, he's got to come into the race with a chance. It gets very tricky. I could touch on 6, 7, 8 runners in this race.
Tough race. Let's see if Daryl likes any value over here. I mean, spring will come. Nothing wrong with that effort last time out. Iron Tail, a horse that we're going to have to watch go down to the start, Daryl. If he does move well, he's always got a chance.
That's right, Brandon. And I've been tipped this horse, Iron Tail, by my good friend Johnny Peter. He says he's a different prospect up the straight, and I have to agree with him. If you have a look at his form with the Speciard, he's had 2 runs up the straight, and he's actually won on both of those occasions. And unfortunately, lost it in the boardroom against Cool Winter. But if it was over 1,400, I'd be bullish. The mile may well be stretching him, but let's see how he moves down to the start. Wakas is deadly up this Vaal straight. I think he's got a outside chance. Brandon, if you're a merit rating man, Gregor McGregor on his last start is the horse to beat. What else can I add over here? Don't know what to say, Brandon. Very tricky. I'll leave this race to yourself. One other, Oyster King. Oyster King, the blinkers have been removed. You know, he's won 4 races in his career, all over the mile. He's coming back in trip, blinkers removed. Throw him into a trifecta. If he manages to sneak into the back end, certainly boost that dividend.
All right, yeah, Oyster King, a horse that you do need to include. On his day, he can certainly run. Jared Penny's been booked to ride for Chris Yonker. Iron Tail, just watch him go down to the start. He's a massive individual. Muzi Yeni, a man that's in terrific form. He had 4 winners at Turfentine on Tuesday. Trifecta boxed is the way Daryl Marie sees this race, race number 8. He's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 and 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 and 12. Trifecta boxed. If you take it as is on your screen, it's going to cost you 120 Rand. Let's go on to the lucky last, race number 9. This is where we officially close things off. Many refer to it as the lucky last. Hopefully we can find the right horse. Favourites number 1, Napoleon, 5-2. The 10, Eagle Alleys at 9-2. 3, Latuli, 11-2. And it's 10-1 in better bar those. Darren, anything in particular? It's the last race. I'm hoping that we up a few Rand. I'm hoping your doubles landed. Sword of Mercy and Hawk Bill by now. And if you have landed that double, what would you be playing in the lucky last to hopefully set us up for a good weekend of racing?
Brandon, I'm expecting a much improved run from this horse, Sage King. He's capable of so much better, and he's been disappointing, but his penultimate start wasn't a bad effort. I just feel this track and trip's going to be ideal. Pity about the 1 draw. Maybe he'll shift across slightly because he has got pace. And off his current rating, I'm expecting improvement. By no means a good thing. I did tip him each way because I thought he was valued around 10-1. Napoleon's got to be alive on his recent form. Pierce Stratum in the saddle. And Eagle Alley, only 53.5 kilos to shoulder. And he's showing glimpses of his earlier form. So 2, 1, 10, and then throw in Hotcha Witchy as a big roughie for your quartets.
All right, so very open race. Probably not the race you want to go and put the rent money down, but you can have an interest. Why not? Daryl Marie, what do you like from our side? I mean, this horse, Eagle Alley, we've been following him for a few starts now. I see he's dropped another point in the ratings to a 60. Surely any moment now he's going to be very competitive.
Brandon, you know, off his current mark, I do think he's going to be very competitive, but he's a lightly raced 5-year-old, certainly had his issues. But he's in a good space. Yes, he should be thereabouts. You can't be too confident with him. I mean, when last was his latest victory? 900 odd days ago. So, like you say, you're not going to be putting the rent money on him. You know, Napoleon, I actually think he was a bit stiff last time out because he didn't get a clean break. And Dennis just asked him to get into the race, and then he was doing too much. So striker can just come out softly. You know, striker up the straight, the Vaal straight, you need a really good ride, and he's certainly capable of getting the best out of Napoleon. This horse is going to be extremely fit on the day. So, you know, he's up there, he may be very hard to peg back. Number 6, the chosen one. Just on his previous start behind Mescal, we know how well that form line has been working out. And then last time out, he didn't really get things his own way. It was around the bend from a bad draw. He could be better than that effort, and he's subsequently been gelded since then. So I'm really keen to see how he returns. I just don't know his fitness levels.
Yeah, all right. Napoleon, a horse that, like you say, the blonde bomber might just prove some magic and get this horse to settle out in front, and he could be hard to run down. You don't often see this combination teaming up, that of Tony Peter and Piers Stradham, so big respect over there, and I'm sure they're expecting a big run from number 1 Napoleon in the lucky last this afternoon. Darren Burrows is going with Sage King. Just want to refresh the market. What price is Sage King? You're getting 10-1 at the moment. It's Cabello Matsanyane for Brett Crawford. James doing a wonderful job up here on the Highveld, so you can't get hurt at about 10-1 with number 2 Sage King. That's it from our side. Thanks to all the viewers out there. Big thank you to Darren and Daryl. We'll chat again soon. Be safe. Bye-bye.